But you can't prove what's happening to Cain one way or the other, and there's a lot of dirt on both sides. I think he comes off very credible, but the guy came off credible saying Ron Paul was wrong about him attacking Ron Paul supporters and folks that want to audit the Fed when he's on record on TV, radio, and in print saying it. And, I mean, he's probably the best liar I've ever seen. So I just don't go there. I know where he stands on issues. We don't need the federal government involved in sales taxes and VAT, and they're going to keep all the other taxes. That's why I don't like Herman Cain. On issues I can prove, not on a bunch of witch hunts. And let me tell you, these Democratic operative women, every one of them's got connections to it that I've seen, and it stinks to high heaven. So I haven't covered that. But on this Penn State situation, I've been busy looking at what's happening in Iran, busy looking at what's happening economically. Everybody who researches what's happening in the world is really freaked out right now. Everybody feels a disturbance in the force, as Obi-Wan Kenobi would say, or as the Bible would say, a disturbance in the spirit. My discernment is just, alarm bells are going off. And always they have these type of scandals that are brought forward and triggered. So you got to ask yourself, well, A, I'm going to cover this because it illustrates the way the world really works on so many points of the compass. It's a window into the real world, into denial, into powerful groups, into cover-ups, into group psychology, into tribalism, into media, and into why has it been triggered now. I have the timeline here. It goes back to 1994 at least. And it turns out the police knew as of 1998, and the university pressured them. The reporters all got threatened. I mean, this is all in the news now. And they were able to cover up, and this guy was able to continue. And here's an even bigger issue. I am hearing sports writers, because I've been following this now more closely the last few days because it's such an incredible window into how the real world works, as I just said. They are actually saying we've got to continue the season. We have, the coach shouldn't have been fired, the head coach. And this big mob, I'll play a clip in a minute, of students saying, bring back the coach one more game. They're not even worried about the fact that there's a university, all of their board should be gone that was part of this. The president, it's not enough. All of them. All of the coaches, undoubtedly. I mean, listen, if I was a coach and I walked into the shower and I saw somebody raping a 10-year-old child, number one, I would stomp the living hell out of them, excuse me. I mean, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, who wouldn't? I'm not some macho guy. It's clobbering time. That guy's going to have a broken jaw and his nose is going to be hanging off. I'm going to have blood coming out of my fist. I'm going to be hitting him so hard I'm splitting my knuckles. But you know what? I realize this, and my wife's a witness to it, and I'm nothing special. Everybody came up and said, you're a hero. I was in La Madeline 8 years ago. My son was about 2. So 8.5 years ago or so. And this woman with her family starts choking. I'm in the bathroom, and I hear yelling. I go to wash my hands. I come back out, and there's a woman with all these people standing around saying, dial 911, and she's turning blue. It's been going on about a minute while I've been in there. And I say, give her the Heimlich. Who knows how to do it? Of course, I took it when just a little junior fire department thing, not a full certification, when I was on swim team the 4th year, when I was like 13. Last year I did it. I should have stayed in it, man. But the point is that I had to then start going, well, excuse me. And they were going, no, wait for police. Dial 911. Everybody's dialing 911. And I said, it'll take them on average 12 minutes to get here. And I have to shove them, and somebody starts shoving on me. And I get over to the woman. She's now on the table, purple. This has been going on a minute and a half. Okay? And they're going, how dare you? Oh, my God, you're going to hurt her. And she's somewhat overweight. She probably weighed 200 pounds. And I stand her up. I get her up. And I do the Heimlich. Do it once, do it twice, do it hard. She goes, bleh, and a big ball of bread with a little bit of vomit comes out. And she goes, and she's like, oh, and everybody's like, oh, you're a hero. Stay here. And I knew this was a bunch of ninnies. I'd probably get sued if I broke her rib or something because I had to really pick her up. And I was like, get out of here. We're not even going to finish eating. Let's go. My wife's like, why not? They're like, you're a hero. You're a hero. This was demonic ninnies. I had to get out of there. So I don't understand it. I mean, I walk into a shower. Somebody's got a 10-year-old bent over, raping them. I mean, I am going to stomp the daylights out of you. I am going to, I mean, I'd be uncontrolled. I guarantee you once I got you on the ground, you're going to get stomps. I mean, you're going to get stomped. Stomped from the feet right up to the head, like a kangaroo. Boom, 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 boom. It's, oh, yeah, you're probably not going to live. And so the issue here is that that's what my instinct says. That's my gut. I walk around a corner into a shower and somebody's raping a kid. You're going to be lucky if I don't kill you. Okay? I don't understand this culture now where they say 1 out of 10 people will rush in during an emergency. That's why I admire firefighters, the men and women of firefighting. I admire police. I'll be honest with you. The profession of a peace officer, charging in against criminals, charging into danger, that's what humanity's all about. That's why it's so evil it's been corrupted. They haven't corrupted the firefighters yet, and God bless them, and I contribute to them and give the volunteer fire departments as much as I can. They're just great men and women. And they're trying to turn them into spies against the people. It makes me so sick. But the fact that for, I don't know, what's 94 to 2011? How many, is that 16 years? 17 years? How long is it? 17 years. And this shows how corruption works. How in mobs of people, I'm sure a very small percentage of them were involved in the raping of children. But they knew, and then for the system, they cover it up. And that's how the big mega banks work, stealing tens of trillions. That's how derivatives work. That's how this plausible deniability works. That's how this corruption works, where the average citizen doesn't put their inspection sticker on a half-inch to the right spot. You get the book thrown at you. Or citizens do things that really aren't even illegal, but are regulatory, go to jail. And the system throws the book at us, microphones in the lamps post, listening to us, face-scanning cameras, total corruption, and the Attorney General's on record perjuring himself about shipping guns into Mexico and bringing drugs into the U.S., and Janet Napolitano's been caught doing it. They've all been caught doing it. And I understand people who aren't evil find this hard to believe because you're naive. Good people have a blind spot. Believe me. I had a blind spot when I was 11 years old and got off the bus, and the cool 14, 15-year-old said, hey, come play in the fort with us in the woods, and then beat the living snot out of me. But see, I had a wake-up call. I thought all the cops were the best people in the world growing up till I saw cops dealing drugs where I grew up. But you got to grow up sometime. You know what I mean? Because being naive, thinking it's cool to be naive, behaving like that is what allows a Nazi Germany or a Soviet Russia or a communist China or an authoritarian Pol Pot or Ceausescu or any of these scum. People think they can decide to not believe something. I have people tell me that all the time. Intelligent people, they go, I choose not to believe that. And I go, but look at the facts. I'm not looking at it. I hear what you're saying. I just can't believe that. And it's the same thing I've talked about in criminology. I study criminology a lot because it's a window into human activity. And all of us are a little criminal at some level. It's called sin. It's called aberrant behavior. All of us, you know, have some type of bad side. Just with some people, it's all they are. And people always go, he was such a nice old man when they find 25 bodies buried in their basement. Or she was such a nice lady when they find, you know, dead kids buried in her basement or whatever. People can't ever believe this. And when you get a big institution like a university, when you get a big institution like a big church or international church, or you get a big institution like the Boy Scouts, or a big institution like the state police, or a big institution like the local police, or a big institution like a college or the federal government, you create a system where smart criminals and deviants know they can get away with things, because once they have power in that position, People are scared to go after them. They can corrupt other people by just letting them know about it, and then now they're accessories. And they know that the system is geared towards defending that power structure. And we've got this video clip. When I saw this last night, I was driving home at about 10 o'clock, and I heard it on the radio on XM. And I got home, and I went online and found the clip. It was on CNN. And I went over to ESPN to see the full other more expanded coverage online. And there was people basically at the verge of rioting, screaming, "You've got to bring back Joe Paterno. You've got to let him finish the season." And then this morning, driving in, I'm listening to press conferences on MSNBC, and they've all with hushed breath, "Is the game's going to continue? You're not going to cancel? Oh, my God, how are the team handling this?" Who cares about the team? Who cares about stupid football? You see, this is why we're so sick. People care so much about games. They don't care about little kids getting raped. They care so much about all these things we've been trained to put our self-image, our worth, our identity into that don't matter. I mean, look at it. It's some old man, 84 years old, all about him and, oh, my gosh, what his career and all this and what's going to happen to the team, what's going to happen to Penn State, oh, my gosh, the donors. It's sycophantic what we have become as a culture. And, of course, reports are going to come out about donors in there. Anyone who is reportedly, and the evidence is overwhelming, reportedly raping children in a field house bathroom. This is what these psychos do. In criminology, when they get in these positions of power, they do it more and more out in the open, more and more in your face. That's why psychos taunt the police about their next crime and how the police are stupid. They want to be caught subconsciously. They want to flaunt what they're doing. It's all about the ego trip. And, of course, he was so confident he was reportedly over 17 years doing this, knowing the school was going to cover it up. Knowing that the minute the head coach didn't go to the police, the minute the president of the university didn't go to the police, he had them as accessories. And I'm sure it goes much deeper than that. And I said earlier in the week, this is probably going to be like the Texas Youth Commission, where good men in the Texas Rangers found out that a bunch of pedophiles work at these facilities and were even bringing their friends in, and they tried to stop it, and they tried to suppress the Texas Rangers. They leaked it. The head of the state police leaked it, and you saw the legislature got rid of the head of the state police in Texas. And the state police 10 years ago were nice, were friendly, wouldn't violate your rights. Now they love to come over to you in many areas, especially the Capitol, treat you like a piece of trash. The whole culture's changed because the state perverts in the legislature, I went down there and bullhorned them during the storming the TSA thing and said, I know a bunch of you are pedophiles and perverts that are being blackmailed. I went into Perry's office and said, these are the reports, these are the rumors. And that, is that why you won't stand up for what's right? Perry is having a meltdown right now. He can't even hardly talk. It's not just at that debate last night. Jaron noticed it last week and played me the clips where he doesn't even know who he is. My gut tells me that he's on a bunch of medication. He looks different than he looked just 6 months ago, and that people are threatening to bring stuff out on him, and I think he's been told it's going to be brought out. Just as something to throw on the fire as well. Oh, we got Paterno over here in Penn State. We got Herman Cain. We got Rick Perry. All of this before the system gets ready to hit Iran. And certain elements that want to hit Iran are saying, you see what we're doing at Penn State and with Herman Cain. You saw what we did with the Democratic governor in New York who passed a law to take John's assets while he was visiting hookers almost every night. We got all of you under surveillance, and if you got any dirt on your fingernails, it's coming out. Comprende? 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 Comprende. You get it? You comprehend it? Do you understand it? I know I do.